This is the tutorial for the robot doll pocket pillow. It's going to have stuffing in it, and this is our next project. You're going to be using your quarter flats and scraps of fabric to cut it out. First you'll have to cut out your pattern pieces. On the pocket, you need to mark these notches. That's going to show us where to fold the pocket. The pocket, you just need to cut one. The body, you cut two, so please place the fabric face to face and cut two of those. The head, you need two, so you place that face to face as well. The face, we're going to be cutting out of felt, you need one, and the arms you'll need to cut four. So remember to place your fabric face to face. The instructions tell you to sew the face onto the head first, but I want you to do it a different way. The first thing I want you to do is to sew the head onto the body and then sew the face on. So this is the body and this is the head, and to find the center, if you take it to the ironing board and you iron it in half and make a crease, and iron it in half and make a crease, then when you unfold it, you'll be able to find where the center is. Place the head face to face with the body and sew across the top. When you're finished, it will look like this. The seam allowance is going to be 1/4 inch, so remember that with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, you line it up with the outside edge of the presser foot. Remember to back stitch at the beginning and the end. Afterwards, you don't need to press the seam open, just press the head facing up. When you place your face onto the head, now you have a front and back body, so you're going to put a face on one of those. You want to make it just above where that 1/4 inch is right here. I know it doesn't look like it's in the center, but you have to remember that you're going to be using up a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So don't make this mistake. People sometimes put it here right in the center, and then when you go to use up that 1/4 inch seam allowance, you have none of the head left. So you want to place it slightly lower so that you leave room for your seam allowance. So now step number 2 will be to sew the face to the front side of the head. And you can do that with a zigzag stitch or a straight stitch. You can have 2 different buttons for the eyes. You can use the same buttons for the eyes. And you can make a different kind of expression on it if you like. After you finish making the face, take the pocket piece. The pocket, it's like the one that we did on the wallet. You fold it in half, and this folded edge becomes the top of the pocket. Place the pocket on the front of the body, pin it, and stitch it down around the edge. So remember, the folded edge goes towards the top. The next step is to sew the arms together. So you have 4 pieces. So face to face, back stitch, sew around 3 sides. You leave one side open to turn the arm. To reduce bulk in the corners, you diagonally clip across the corner. Don't clip through the thread. After you clip it, you turn the arm right side out, and there will be an opening on one edge like this. You can use the turning tool to reach inside and gently press the corner out to make a nice sharp corner, then go ahead and iron it. When you're stuffing the arms, you do not need very much stuffing at all. You just need a little dab like that. Remember, you have to make that robot sandwich at the end, and if these are too thick, it makes it more difficult. So maybe a little bit more than that. And don't stuff it all the way to the end, because you need to have, again, some flatness here for the seam allowance. Put a small amount of stuffing in the pocket. Don't put too much, and don't let it come all the way to the end. You need to leave at least the 1/4 inch here with no stuffing. It will be too thick to go under the presser foot. Next, you place the arms facing inwards. It's another one of those things in sewing where when you're done sewing it, it will flip to the outside. But for now, it will be facing inwards, and probably, I don't know, about a little more than 1 finger down from the top. It's going to overlap the pocket a little bit. That's okay. Go back to your sewing machine and stitch the arms on in this position. This step is similar to when we made the wallet. You have the front of the robot all constructed with the pocket and the arms, and then you have the back of the robot. So you place those 2 pieces face to face, and you'll start sewing down here. At the bottom, you'll sew 1/4 inch, pivoting all the way around, and when you get back to where you started, leave, I don't know, maybe 3 fingers, 2.5 finger opening down here, because that's where we'll turn the robot around and put the stuffing. When you create the robot sandwich, you finish the whole robot, put them the back with the front like that. Go ahead and put some pins right down the center to hold everything together. And then go ahead and pin a little bit more around. Those ones down the center will help hold everything in place as you're sewing. This is what it will look like when you stitch around it. Make sure that you leave that opening in the bottom here to turn it around. That's a little bit too small, make it bigger than that. Flip everything around, give it a little iron. Be careful not to iron the face. When you iron it this way, because the felt is acrylic and it will melt. Then you stuff everything and you use your ladder stitch method to close up that hole. And then you're all done.